Well, what happens when the Republican Party elects and nominates Herschel Walker, an African-American black Heisman Trophy winner, right? Olympian. It destroys the whole narrative.
So here's the thing you need to know, Lindsey. Just because we see a black person does not mean that we do monkey see, monkey do. And I'm sure that you don't know how insulting that is. But let us just say to you, don't ever say that again, because you look ignorant as hell. Don't do that.
I think the sad thing about this is, Herschel Walker is woefully underqualified for this job. And the only reason he was chosen and also supported by Trump is because Raphael Warnock, the senator in Georgia, is black. And they wanted someone who was black to confront him, to oppose him.
We don't know we can't tell each other apart.
Exactly. And I think it's sad that the GOP is using Herschel Walker in that way.
I think it's sad too. I'm no longer so concerned about how it's sad for Herschel Walker because he's lying massively about these claims that have been made against him. I lose some of my compassion for him when he's denigrating these women for coming forward about their experiences. But yeah, that's 100% true. I don't agree with Whoopi Goldberg on a lot politically recently, but she is totally right. Yasmin, what do you think?
No, I agree, especially with what is her name, Sunny? What she was saying.
Sunny Hostin, I think is her name, I believe.
Yeah. Sorry, but yeah. But the thing is, it really shouldn't be about race and all these things, all these identity politics things. You need representation in government, but when it's used this way against people and against the better will of what's good for the people, it's really dangerous and it's distracting more than anything. And we know that Herschel Walker is not a qualified candidate by any means. We know that he lies about things that he shouldn't be lying about. We know that he's been caught lying multiple times, but we also know that Republican voters are still going to vote for him. Every time he gets caught in a lie, we see his poll numbers sink and then they just come right back up, because what other option do these diehard Republicans have? They're not going to vote for Raphael Warnock. They might be annoyed and disappointed in the things that Walker says, but they're still gonna vote for him. They don't care about the hypocrisy, they don't care about the lies, and they don't care that he doesn't actually exemplify any of these Christian values that they claim to care about so much. They're still gonna vote for Herschel Walker over a literal reverend. So that's where we are.
Yeah, while telling massive lies about Warnock. It's the whole thing is just pathetic. It is clear what Lindsey Graham and Donald Trump and the others think about Herschel Walker, what they think about the black voters of Georgia. But this does not reflect poorly on those voters. It reflects poorly on them because this is just another form of projection. They clearly think that they should decide, which candidates to support, which candidates to back, at least partially on race. That clearly is something that signals to them something important. I don't think most people are like that, but Lindsey Graham and Donald Trump, that is clearly the way that they're approaching this. It's incredibly insulting. I think it's incredibly transparent. We'll see if any of this breaks through. And unfortunately, as Yasmin, as you were alluding to, the evidence doesn't seem super strong. Now, following the first abortion scandal, we pointed out that the polls did seem to move to favor Warnock. Well, we got to update you on that. Let's take a look. So after the abortion story broke, a couple points of support for Herschel Walker seemed to melt away. And like in an irrefutable demonstration of how little Herschel Walker actually cares about any of this, whether you can trust what he says, cost him like 2 points for like 5 days. That was it. Like on top, he's right back. It is an incredibly, incredibly close race. And what's interesting is, like, I focus on the poll results, but what you're seeing here, let's put that back up, is what made people at least look into these candidates. So when the abortion story first broke, the first one, that did create a spike in searches about Walker, which sort of makes sense. But it wasn't even as much as just when they debate. And like, yes, I'm glad that people care enough about a debate that they're looking into the candidates following it. That's good, I suppose. But this is an absolutely massive scandal. Any other candidate, like 2015 or before, this would sink any candidacy. This clear hypocrisy on the question of abortion. And for him, it was something that like people were like, I'll Google a little bit. maybe I'll think about it for like 3 or 4 days. Then we're moving on with our lives. We don't care. And that just, I find that super depressing, Yasmin.
Yeah, well, I mean, you said it. Before 2015, this would have been a much bigger deal. 2015 changed everything, right? 2015 was when Donald Trump announced his candidacy. That was the year that the Republican Party decided to go all in on this guy who, again, just like Herschel Walker, was unqualified for the position. He was a terrible person. He lied. He did all these things that would make a bad presidential candidate, but they backed him anyway. Yeah. And not only that, but they rallied support from Republican voters. So now we have like an entire subsection of our country that's, fully invested in the cult of Trumpism. That's what we've created. That's the country that we live in these days. And these are the kinds of elections that we're seeing as a result of what happened in 2015 and 16.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.